sparring is different. Whereas sparring in Thailand is pretty much point scoring, playing games, having a laugh, just taking the time, being fluid. Over here it's a bit more, I would hesitate to say all out war, but they tend to not pull their punches. They're a bit more into the hierarchy. I mean, if you're some fighters that they consider themselves a top fighter, like they both put the cosh. Like if you sort of like land a couple of good shots on them in sparring, like they both sort of put the cosh on you. Clinching, in the respect that in Thailand it is mostly points. Like I got pulled up innumerable times for using the point of the knee when they should have been using the side. Like Thais who've fought like 150 times, they're saying no, don't use the point, use the side. Just training. This is training. This is not fighting. I remember, I think one of the first clinching sessions I had over here, whether it was because of the novelty of training with a white guy or if it's the way that they actually did things, I was nearly knocked out. Like they just leave me full in the rib cage. Like I couldn't really train properly for the next week.
Sebastian.
Sebastian, where are you from?
I'm from Germany, Berlin.
And how long have you been in Cambodia?
For 3 months.
And what are you doing here?
I'm working for an NGO for Friends International.
This is your first time doing any kind of Khmer boxing?
Yes, it's first time. Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's fun. It's really hard, but I love it. Especially after the training, I'm really good.
Yeah. Would you recommend other foreigners come to Cambodia for
Yes,
boxing?
come here. It's really fun.
So you want to say something nice to the people in the world? Some advice? Or encourage them?
Come here and enjoy life.
Thank you.
I'm not really about school of hard knocks, but I do believe that you must take people up gradually. You can't just throw them in and beat the hell out of them and expect them to get tough. I think that there are deficiencies in, quite obviously deficiencies in the sports science knowledge. You know, like I injured my foot once and they told me to not eat chicken. So maybe there is some hitherto unknown medical side effect of eating chicken that we don't know about, but to be honest, it's yet to be proven to me.
So why would a foreigner train here?
Why would a foreigner train here? It's more from the perspective of actual life experiences. I mean, if you're really looking to get good at the sport, go to Thailand and go to a gym in Holland or somewhere like that. Coming here, it's more to see it. The style is slightly different. I think it's probably to do with the fact that they're not quite as well fed as their Thai counterparts. They tend, instead of like going in for a battle, they'll sort of decline to take the attack and decline to hit. You don't really get so many wars. I came to Cambodia because it was relatively unknown and I wanted to stay in Asia. From the perspective of visa runs in Thailand. Like if you go into Thailand, I think they've tightened up the rules recently. The last few months you get 30 days in, then it's like another 15 or something like that. It is definitely more expensive. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different atmosphere over here.
Now, where can foreigners train? I mean, when I lived here before, really, Paddy's was the only place.
As far as I know, foreigners can train in any gym. It's just unheard of. Like for most of them, like for a foreigner to turn up at their gym and say, "Look, can I train with you?" They'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, well, American people are extremely polite. They're very nice, and they do like meeting foreigners. So it's true. If you turned up at pretty much any gym, even like on a secure military facility, they would probably just invite you in and let you train for the day. But it's not normal for them to have you stay there and keep training.
I'm just basing this on the few places that I have seen, and it seems to be a fairly standard thing. If you want to, like as a foreigner, if you want to come over and train here, I would recommend going to Paddys. Like he understands the importance of hands in the fight. Hands over here, the boxing here is just dreadful, to be honest. I think the first time I came over, I went up to CTN to watch the fights. They had amateur boxing, like with the head guards and all the rest of it, and I actually thought it was like a joke. I actually thought it was put on just for fun, but apparently not. Paddy understands the importance of hands, he understands the importance of fitness. I think with Paddy I've done some of the hardest training I've ever done in my life. Particularly in the gym where the heat tends to rise up, it gets hotter than the hot season.
Inside a Paddy's club, the temperature can reach, what, like 37, 38 degrees? Probably.
It feels like more.
It feels like 40.
Given to the humidity.
Feels like 45. And Paddy will take us on the pads. I've never had anybody work me on the pads the way Paddy does.
Yeah.
And not as many rounds as Paddy does. Paddy will have us doing 6 or 8 rounds of pads and like really pushing us on it. Yeah, Paddy is the main reason why I ever trained here.
Yeah.
Hey, that's it for this episode of Martial Arts Odyssey in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Doing Bradal Serey with my good friend Richard. As always, at the end of every episode of Martial Arts Odyssey, I tell you, get in the gym, do your sets, do your reps, do your road work, but please say a prayer for the people of Burma. But please say a prayer for the people of Burma.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.